Kevin, we are 6 weeks out from our home opener. Like, what is your level of excitement right now just to get the ball rolling with this team?
Well, first of all, Leah, thanks so much for having me. I am super pumped to get started with Panther City. We're actually starting. We have our first weekend of training camp coming up this weekend, so I'm really looking forward to getting down there with the boys and getting things rolling.
Yeah, this is actually going to be the first time that everybody's in the same room together. What the heck is that going to be like?
It feels like it's been a long time coming since expansion draft day and just going from there. The boys have obviously been in touch, like group chats and all that, but to finally have everybody in the room together, that's going to be a really cool moment, I think, and I'm looking forward to it.
How is this team kind of building that camaraderie? Because everyone is so spread out among these different cities. Some are in America, some are in Canada. How do you build that camaraderie with a team that hasn't even been in the same room together yet?
Yeah, it's obviously it's an interesting challenge, but like I said, just through group chats, we've got like a fantasy football league already rolling, inside jokes, that kind of thing. So guys are familiar with each other that have played with each other in the past. So there's like already some camaraderie that's been built. So just starting to build on top of that as things get going.
Who's in the lead in fantasy football right now?
I don't know. I missed the participation, so I'm on the outside looking in. But I'm cheering for whoever wins. I'll tag along with them.
There you go. There you go. You and I talked a little bit about how some of you guys are already so well connected, whether it's growing up together or playing in the NLL already together. From the guys that you kind of know on this roster already, who do you see really stepping up and becoming a leader of this team?
Oh man, it's hard to say. I think our staff did such a great job of drafting incredible people. We have so many guys that are natural leaders. I think Chad Cummings is a guy who I met recently, and he seems like an awesome guy who's really going to be able to step in and lead our back end. I think Connor Sellers is another one. He's such a physical presence. He's impossible to miss on the floor. I think him and Chad will handle the back end pretty well. On offense, I mean, Randy Stats is an absolute stud, and I think the ball has to go through him on our offense. So he'll definitely be leading us up front, along with Ryan Benesh, guy's top 10 all time points in this league for a reason. He knows what it takes to win. So I think those are some key standout leaders for us.
Tell us about the last 2 seasons with the Georgia Swarm. I mean, what has that kind of taught you about playing box lacrosse at the highest level?
Yeah, I loved my past 2 years with the Swarm. I mean, we were really great on the floor as well as in the dressing room. There was a bunch of really amazing people, and I was lucky to be a part of that organization. I had nothing but great things to say about the ownership, the coaching staff, and the players as well. So I'm looking forward to being able to take some of that winning culture that we had in Georgia and apply it to this new team in Panther City.
Have you talked to Connor and Randy at all, who were your teammates before, about what it's going to be like to make that transition over to a team in Fort Worth?
Yeah, I've been in touch with Connor quite a bit leading up to the season, so I can't wait to get back to hanging out with him. I know when we picked up Randy, I added him to the group chat right away. I was so pumped to have that guy playing on my side instead of having to worry about playing against him. So I'm really looking forward to being back with those guys.
Fill us in a little bit on being an NLL goalie, since I think a lot of our fans are pretty new to the sport of box lacrosse. Mm-hmm. Like, what are some of the biggest struggles of playing between the pipes, both physically and, in the game, but also mentally?
Yeah, that's a good question, Leah. There's so much that goes into every game. I mean, you're playing against the most talented lacrosse players in the world every night. You have to be so on point. I think these guys, they can place the ball on a dime. So making sure that your angles are right and that your reaction time is like instant. You have to be anticipating where you think they're going to be shooting, because they can pick the place so perfectly and the shot's coming so quick that you got to be ready for it every time. I think mentally, it's a battle. You're the last line of defense, and everybody in the arena sees it every time that you screw up because the ball's in the back of the net. So you got to be able to rise to that occasion. And whether you're at home in front of friendly fans or away against a little bit more of a hostile crowd, you got to be ready for whatever they're going to throw at you.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Panther City. I mean, with a new team, obviously there's a lot of opportunity here, but I know there's also a lot of challenges as well. What's kind of your take on what we're building here in Fort Worth right now?
Being a part of a new franchise like this and being able to like have your hands on it from the ground up and be a part of building that foundation and those roots is such a cool, exciting challenge. And it's something that I've never been a part of. So I'm really looking forward to the opportunity. I think there's so much that comes with it, from how we're going to perform on the floor, what kind of systems we're going to run, how the fans are going to engage with us on the floor, and then also like the culture in the dressing room. So we get to be a part of that from the ground up. I think that's something that's really special, that I'm really looking forward to being a part of.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, it is training camp in Ontario this weekend, finally really starting to feel real here. What are you
Mhm.
most looking forward to, and what are you kind of expecting to see out of the group once everybody gets together this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, just getting everybody in the same room and putting names to faces of guys that I haven't met before, getting to feel out the camaraderie and just be back, feeling like we're back playing National Lacrosse League lacrosse again after such a long time away from it is going to feel really good. I can't wait to see how our coaching staff gets us into gear and how they want to run these tryouts and start working on systems for our winning team.
And you mentioned that long hiatus of the NLL due to COVID. Physically, mentally, I mean, what kind of have you been doing over the last few weeks and the last few months just to prepare yourself for the upcoming season?
Yeah, obviously I've never been away from the game this long in my entire life since I started playing when I was 3 years old. So it's been an interesting challenge, something that I don't think anybody could have ever foreseen. Physically, super challenging. You go from being like intensely active all the time to being trapped in your home for a prolonged period of time. So it's exciting to see things get back to normal. I know I've been getting out, playing a little bit of hockey up here in Canada. So cliche, I know, but it's a great workout. Getting back, I'm a big hot yoga guy myself. I think it's good for the flexibility as a goalie. So getting back to doing that a little bit. And then the mental side, getting to watch like some old games, some of my old games that I played in, goalies that I admire and study in the league, and seeing how they play, I think is a big asset for keeping the mind right.
And then my last question for you is, what would be your message to our fans? You know, we've got people who follow lacrosse closely and then people who are pretty new to the sport. So what would you tell them about what we're building in Fort Worth and why they should come and see us at Dickies Arena?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's such an exciting sport. I know it's maybe not so well known in Texas. When I think Texas, I think football. So I think it'll be a fun thing for fans to get out to and check out. I hope they keep an open mind. I think like the systems are similar to basketball, so if they're familiar with that, they'll be able to pick up like the defensive systems and that pretty quick. But yeah, it's super fast paced. You got to be paying attention all the time because that ball moves so quick. The players are so skilled. There's a ton, like the pace, like I said, is so quick. So much talent, hard hitting too. So the football fans will appreciate that. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I can't wait to get down there and get to meet some of the fans.
Absolutely. Hey, Kevin, thanks so much for taking a few minutes to chat with us today. And we will see you in Ontario very, very soon.
Right on. Thank you so much, Leah.